Hey guys, welcome to this Final Cut Pro basic course for beginners. Okay, so inside this course you will going to learn lots of valuable knowledge which is very much required for you to understand if you are a beginner in Final Cut Pro. Okay, so we will going to discover a lot of things. Okay, and these things which we will going to discuss in this course will be very much useful for you. Okay, because inside this course we will going to learn about some features. Okay, what are the transactions, effects, and many more, like magnetic snapping, okay, color corrections, and many more. So if you guys are interested to learn Final Cut Pro, okay, so please make sure you watch this course from starting to end. This free course will going to help you to understand a lot of things about Final Cut Pro. Okay, so you will also be able to create a very stunning looking video clips using Final Cut Pro. So make sure you just watch this course from starting to end, and you will really going to. So now guys, we will basically going to talk about how you can get the Final Cut Pro. So just come to the Apple's website and you can see the Final Cut Pro. It basically will going to give you Final Cut Pro for free trial. Okay, so I guess we have 90 days free trial. Okay, so when I'm recording the screen, so make sure that you come to the Apple's website and just search for basically Final Cut Pro, and come to the page and see the requirement first of all. Okay, because it is very much important that when we download the Final Cut Pro, so at that particular time we should know that whether our Mac can support this software or not. Okay, so you can see that Final Cut Pro is basically supported. Minimum requirement is the Mac OS 13.5 for later. Okay, so make sure that your Mac OS has this particular requirement and 8 GB of RAM. So you can see if you just click on the top left corner at about this Mac. Okay, so here you will going to see the Mac OS version. Okay, so my Mac OS is 14.4, so I'm more than enough. Okay, and 8 GB RAM is required, and Apple says that 16 GB, if your Mac has 16 GB of RAM, it will work very smoothly. Okay, and you should have this amount of available space, so that your Final Cut Pro software gets fit inside this particular storage. Okay, so I can see that I have a 64 GB of RAM and 2 TB of storage I have. Okay, so in my case no problem, but make sure you just go to about this Mac and check the requirement for Final Cut Pro. Okay, and see whether it will going to work or not. Okay, so just make sure that you have the Final Cut Pro. Just try it for 90 days. Also, you can just download from the App Store. Just go to the App Store, just search for Final Cut Pro, and then you guys will going to see the option to try it or buy the software. Okay, but in my case I have already purchased. Okay, so you just have to download it, and then you just have to open it. So after you will going to open the Final Cut Pro, so your Final Cut Pro software will going to open. Okay, and you can also open it from your launchpad as well. Okay, like from your launchpad after it will be downloaded. So you guys can see this is how basically the Final Cut Pro looks like. Very simple and amazing, right? So this is how basically you guys can basically set up the Final Cut Pro. Now let's just go ahead with assumption that you guys have now Final Cut Pro. Okay, so now we will basically going to learn the Final Cut Pro. Okay, so now guys, after you will basically going to open the Final Cut Pro. Okay, so let's make it to full size by the way. Okay, so now a very important thing to note is to learn the Final Cut Pro structure. Okay, so you guys will always going to see your Final Cut Pro will be always divided into three structure. First will be the library. Okay, so at the very top you guys can see we have three sections here. So just go to the very first section, and here the first section name is dummy. Okay, so dummy is basically the project. Okay, sorry, basically the library. Okay, so the dummy is the library. Even if you just remove each and everything, okay, so you can just remove that if you don't want that. Okay, basically you can just search on the spotlight movies. Okay, basically in your movies folder you will basically going to see your all the details. Okay, so in case if you don't want this dummy library and so on, so you can just remove that from here. Okay, if you now just restart your particular Final Cut Pro again, so you will going to show, now it will just going to show you untitled. Okay, so the very first thing is to make sure that this is created by default. Okay, and you can see the untitled in the movies. Okay, so if you want to rename it, you can just rename it. So for example, I am just writing it tutorials. Click on enter button, and you will going to notice that it will going to change to tutorial. Okay, after you will going to start it again, by the way. Awesome, so you can see it's changed to tutorials. Okay, so the make sure the very first thing, of course you can change it from here, just double click. Okay, but the very first thing we have is the library, and inside library you guys can create as many as events. Like you can create one event, you can create second event, you can create third event. Maybe let's say you are just going with the America trip. Okay, so let's say if you just go here, instead of tutorials you can just um, right here. Okay, America tutorial, America clips. Okay, so for example I can just write here America trips. Okay, so suppose you went to America, okay, and you visited various different state. Okay, so for example if I just put here USA states, so for example USA has plenty of different states. So let's say you are now visited to USA, and you have taken lots of footage. Now you want to do editing of all those footage. Okay, so what you can do, you can create the library of, let's say, USA or America trips. Okay, and under that you can create event. The event can be, let's say, for Texas. So Texas is one state inside United States. Similarly, California is one state inside United States. Okay, so similarly for different state, you can create different events inside this particular library. So what I can do is that I can basically right click here, and or just go here at the top, right click, and from here you guys can click on new event. Okay, under library, and this event can be, let's say, of Texas. So we visited to Texas. Okay, so and the library is of course inside America trips. Okay, and we click on OK button. So you guys will going to notice that inside this particular library we have created one event of Texas, right? And inside this event you guys can create projects. So projects are basically clips. You can see projects. So basically you can create projects. Maybe you can just go more in depth. Maybe in Texas, let's say if we just go here. Okay, so USA has many states. You can see if I show you in the images. So you can see the USA has so many states, and Texas is one of them. Now inside any state we have different cities. For example, Texas cities. Okay, so if you just go to images, so you can see that inside Texas we have various different cities. Okay, so what you can do, you can create another one. Okay, like under event you can create new project, and it's, let's say, it's Austin city. Okay, so you visited to, let's say, Austin city in Texas in United States. So for that you can create one separate project. Okay, click on OK button, and now you can see the Austin city project has been created. Now inside this you guys can create unlimited, that means you can upload unlimited clips inside this particular project. Okay, so hope you guys are now understanding the concept of library, events and projects. Okay, and clip is basically the video files, images which you bring inside your Final Cut Pro. So that is what clips are. But in nutshell, library, event and project, so these are the three structure which you will going to see in your Final Cut Pro, that makes very much easy for us to locate the files very easily within the Final Cut Pro. So hope you guys have understood the structure we have inside the Final Cut Pro. Now guys, it's all about video clips, musics and sound effect. So basically how you can import the files inside Final Cut Pro. Okay, so it's very easy. First of all, you get some by default templates given by Apple. So these are some sound effects which you guys can use. So you guys can see there are lots of sound effects, but of course in case if you want to download it, so you can just use the browser. Okay, and you can just search for something. For example, I can just search for Texas videos free download. Okay, anything like that. So you will going to find various websites like Pixabay. Okay, this is the very popular website to provide you any videos and images and many more without any copywriting stuff. Okay, so from here let me just search for Texas, and if let me see if we can find anything. Okay, okay, so it's very easy by the way. Okay, you can just download any footage or anything without any problem. So let's say I have this particular video, so let me just download it. I guess it's for Texas, or even if it is not, so let me just, for a teaching purpose, let me just download this file. Okay, so you can see that this file is about to download, and it's totally free. Okay, you can see it's basically free for use. Okay, so after that you can see it will be downloaded at the top. Now let me just also see some other files. Just for a safe side, we just download some other files as well. You can download in various formats, but this is what we want because we want a rectangle video like that. Okay, so in that particular resolution, just go and download it. Just wait for a few seconds. If you want to give the credits, you can give the credit to this particular person. Okay, but let's leave it. So similarly, like videos you can download. Okay, we will also going to teach you how you can export it. Okay, now let's just download some music. Okay, music download free. Okay, just type this and then you can see royalty free music downloads. There are plenty of websites, you can explore a lot of them. Okay, so for example, you can see we have a lot of them, and from here make sure the music is selected. You can download as many as thing. Okay, but let's download something related to environment. Okay, so I just search for environment music because I want some kind of environment music. I can just preview it. So let's say I like this one, so I can just simply click on this download button, and you can see the audio has also been downloaded. So in this way you can just download anything from the internet. Okay, and you can use it in the Final Cut Pro, even sound effects, but we will going to use the by default sound effects of Final Cut Pro. So let's just import things. So just click on the import button. By the way, whatever file you will going to download, basically you will going to see in the finder downloads. You can see the music and two video file which we have downloaded. Okay, so you can basically just go here to your computer's download option, make sure you allow all the things, and from here you can say that you will going to get the options, various options before you import it. Okay, but make sure that everything which you do should be by default. That is what you have to do. Okay, like if we just talk about, let's say, proxy media, so proxy media will, you know, basically going to create the small file size for this particular video so that you can use it more smoothly. But let's not go inside that. Okay, let's import with the by default settings. Click on the import selected, and you can see that inside the project of Austin City you have this particular video file. Okay, if you want to even right click, you can just do a lot of things, like you can move it to trash and so on. But what we always suggest is that you just right click and move to trash. Okay, after you do this, but before you import anything, what we always suggest, and basically, you know, name it. So right click, you can just name this file. So naming is very much important, because when you name any file, so it in future, in case if you want to locate that particular file, okay, so at that particular time you will basically going to find it very much easy to search for any file. Okay, and the second way is to directly just drag all of them like this and just move it inside here. That's it. Awesome, right? Now you can make it to full screen again. So basically in this way you guys can basically import any files to your Final Cut Pro. Okay, now let's talk about, you know, Final Cut Pro interface. Okay, so basically the Final Cut Pro has a very, you know, simple and clear interface. So first of all, you can see you have this import option and at the very right you have the export option. Here you can see the inspector option. Okay, so for example, whatever setting you want to do, for example, I have selected this text, so related to this particular media file. Okay, I will going to see various settings that are available for this particular media. Okay, you can also see the various informations and so on. Even you will see the color option here very soon. Okay, and at the very, you know, bottom right side you will see two options which are very much effective and can make your video clips very much engaging. So very first option is the effect. So from here you can see, you can just take the hover here. Okay, and you guys can see various effects we have. Okay, so you can just use these effects within your clips. Then you also have some, you know, transitions. You can see when you will going to hover it, you can see basically how the effect of these transactions will be. So you can use these transactions within your Final Cut Pro. So these are the basic clear cut instructions, and of course at the very middle you guys can see the options related to whatever settings we are doing. Okay, so for example, whatever we will going to play or something in the timeline, so all that informations you will going to see over here. Okay, so that means whatever changes you are making within your timeline. Okay, so timeline is this part where you actually do the editing. So in this particular area, whatever changes you will going to do, so that changes you can preview or play here. Okay, to see basically the output of whatever you are doing in the timeline. So this is basically the simple and easy interface of Final Cut Pro. Now guys, we will going to talk about how you can import any file. Okay, so first of all, in case if you don't see this type of interface, so at the top you guys can see this option. If you will press it, so you guys can see different view. Okay, so make sure you come to this view because it is more comfortable. Okay, And now if you want to import any particular file, so you can basically select that file, and you can just take your cursor here and see the preview of it. So you can basically select that file and just drag it here. Okay, so you can even make it zoom by zooming out on your trackpad. Okay, so you can make that file zoom in. Okay, so if you have trackpad, so you can just zoom these files, okay, from here. Okay, also you can just click on this option at the top, and here you can see this zoom option. So this zoom option will going to zoom your files in case if you don't have trackpad. So for that it's very useful. Just click here on your clip, you will see your video will going to expand, right? So this is the option we have. Again, select that, click on the select one. So from here you can zoom any particular media. Okay, and another thing is that another way to import is to just select any file. You can just press, let's say I only want to select this part. Okay, I don't want to show this bridge. Okay, so I just want to show from this part. Okay, so I will press I for ice cream. Okay, so just press I, and then you can also set O for orange, right? So you can see, you can select this part, and you will see when you will do this bracket type of outline will going to frame by the yellow color. You can now just drag that part only to your timeline. Okay, instead of getting the complete file. So that's how you guys can even import that. Okay, and you can also zoom this particular file as well, and so on. Same with the audio as well. So from audio also you can just play the audio. So whatever audio part you want, you can even import that, or you can just directly import the complete audio, let's say in case if you want to. Okay, so you can see that's how basically it's works. Okay, very simple and easy and very effective way to import it. Okay, and also one more thing, let's say if I just try to, let's say, import one file, let's say one this file. So you will going to see the snap option. Okay, that means you will going to see that whenever you try to uh, put any file, it just stick with the file in the timeline. So it's because of the snapping feature. So here you will see this magnetic option. So if you will disable it, so you will going to see there will be no such option. Okay, so it's like other video editors. But in case if you want to enable this option, and I highly suggest you guys to make this option enable, so that in every point it will just going to give you this option to stick, okay, with in all the important points. So that's very effective. Okay, but this is all about how you guys can import the timeline. Okay, now guys, we will basically going to talk about some music adjustment, which is also very much important as a beginner to understand. See, if we just talk about the audio file, okay, so you can just select this audio file, and from this option you can see volume, decibels. Okay, so you can just increase and decrease it, and you will going to notice that here also it's increasing and decreasing. Let me just show you guys again, like this. Okay, so if you will just play, so you can also decrease it from here. Okay, so you can just see when I'm just taking my cursor here in the between this line, white line, so you can see the top and bottom arrow. So you can just simply left click, okay, and just drag it up and down. So in this way also you can just adjust the volume of any particular audio file. Okay, and let's say if you have any video that has audio inside that particular video itself, so also there you will see that option. Otherwise, you can right click and you will see the option of detach the audio. Okay, so when you will click on the detach audio, in this particular video we don't have any option of a detach audio because this is only a plain video without any audio. But but in case if you have any video file with audio inside that, so you can just detach it from here, so it will detach like this. Okay, video and audio separately, and you can even do some editing of audio from here as well. Okay, so this is what is important in Final Cut Pro. Okay, now we will going to talk about some tools and speed adjustment. Okay, so you can see we have plenty of tools. So by default A is selected. You can use shortcut like A to select it, T to trim it. If you want to put any cuts on your clip, you can press B. For example, if I press B for ball on my keyboard, so I will see this scissor option. So from here I can just cut it. For example, I want to put one cut here, I can just left click and you can see the we will going to get to video files. And let's say from here also I want the cut, so I can just press in the audio as well, and again click on the A button. Why A? Because A to select. Okay, so just click on A button. Now we can see, you can select files, and now we have also separated the audio as well. So that's what you guys can do. And of course from your video file, you can also adjust the speed as well. Just click on this speed option. Okay, speed adjustment, and from here you can just do or slow down to 50%, 20, 10%. You can make it faster like 10%. So you can see that's how it works. Okay, even you can just take this path. Okay, and you can even do or increase or decrease the size or speed of the clip. Okay, let's make it to normal. So normal is 100. Okay, and you can also make it slow, let's say 50%. So you can see this is how the 50%. Now your file will become slow like this. You can also make it slow, or you can even put the custom. So let's say we want 70% slow. So you can see the audio will become, sorry, video will become 70% slow, right? So that's how you guys can do. Let's make it to normal again. Okay, that is 100%. So that's how you guys can adjust the speed in the Final Cut Pro. We do have lots of other options as well, like advanced feature, but as a beginner guide these are sufficient. Now guys, let's see how we can transform anything. Okay, so basically whenever you will going to click on any particular clip, so you will going to see the option of a transform, and here you will see the show option. So just click on that one and you can just reset the parameter, or just enable and disable the transformation option. Okay, so basically using this transformation option you guys can just do a lot of things. So from this option you can see the transform option is enabled. Now if you want, you can even make or move the clips here and there. Okay, or let's say if we want two files, okay, for example one file here, you can also grab the second file, okay, to let's say above it like this. Okay, and when you will going to have this particular file, let me just show you guys, or let's just do one thing. We have this particular file over here, we can just reduce the opacity of it and so on, right? Even you can just rotate from this particular corner to any place you want. Even you can reset it to the original place like this. Okay, and similarly you can just put any particular file. Okay, okay, from from this path to, let's say, this path, you can just drag the file here. Okay, and now even you can just trim it out like this. You can just make it half and just bring it here, so that you can get the two-way effect as well. Okay, which is possible here. Now just play the video. Awesome. And let's say if you want, so we can just make it full like this, and we can just make this second clip opacity. Okay, you can just increase it to this much, and let's reduce the opacity of this one here. So in this way also you can just reduce the opacity and so on. So these are some transformation options you get in your Final Cut Pro. Okay, so you can just utilize it, use it, just reset it all the way up, and so on. And after you do that, you can just simply click on the done button. Okay, that's how amazing it looks. So let's see how we can add the text, okay, to the file. So you can just go to the third section, click here on the Final Cut Pro, and you will going to see 3D text and so on. Okay, so whatever you want. So for example, I just go with the build in and out, and you can just hover on any of the text, or you can just select the text, and there you can just see which will going to work the best. Okay, so you can just choose that particular option, okay, from here. Okay, so for example, let's say I just want this one, or let me just go to the bumper. Okay, let's just go to the built-in one, and I can just drag this text here. Okay, and after you do this, you can just click on this text, you can just double click here, and you can just, let's say, write Texas. Okay, like that. By the way, when you will going to do this, when you will basically going to select the text, so at the right side you guys can see all the settings related to that. You can increase and decrease the size of the text. By the way, you can just rotate your text from here, move it here and there, and so on. Also, you can just align it to left, right, and so on. Basic details, you can just increase the line spacing and so on. Okay, and all these things you can even enable glow. If you want shadow, you can. Okay, if you want glow to your text, you can enable the glow, and you can also see the settings related to that. For example, if you click on the show button, okay, you can see the further details, like how much the opacity. We don't want that, we want too much blur, and you can also change the color and so on. So these are all the settings we have. Click on hide, same with the drop shadows, we have enabled this, and you can see furthermore customization for your text, right? So these are all the functionalities you get when you go with the text. You can also rotate the text to the y-axis like this. Okay, you can also do this in the y-axis as well, and so on. Okay, so just come here, play around with different settings, so you will better going to get idea. You can also drag it from the starting or end point. Just hover your cursor, you will see this option, okay, with middle line and two left and right arrows. You can just increase and decrease it like this. Okay, so let's play it. Okay, let's make that sure that if you just go to the basic settings. Okay, so just make sure that text are selected and so on. Okay, because we have used a dramatic one, that's why we are getting all these options, but you can even choose the plain one like this one. Okay, so this is how you guys can just get the text settings and so on your particular Final Cut Pro. Okay, now guys, we will basically going to talk about color corrections. Now how color correction works, it's very easy. You just have to select the footage where you want to apply the color correction, and after you will going to choose the particular file where you want to apply that. For example, let me just do one thing. Let me just go to media and let me just import this particular clip over here like this. Awesome. Okay, I can just drag the audio here as well. Now for example, I select this clip and then I can just go to this option here. Okay, so here you will see the color options and you can just play around with different settings. Now as a beginner, there is not too much to say, but what I will going to suggest you guys to play around with these settings. So most important is the saturations. You can just make it up to make your clip, you know, change with the overall effect. Okay, for this particular clip, just go here. Okay, and you can just adjust it. Okay, like you can see, you can just make it more darker and lighter at the bottom. Okay, you can also do it individually as well. Global means it will change the overall look. With the shadow, you have second option of a shadow, so you can just increase and decrease the shadow. So there is no principle that how it will going to work. Okay, just make sure just change some settings and see when see if your clip is looking attractive or not. So that's the only principle. Just play around with these settings, and whatever setting is looking good, just make sure you choose that as a beginner level. Okay, there are plenty of things in the advanced level, but as a beginner I will only going to suggest you guys to play around with these settings. Just change them a little bit and see when it is looking great. Like in exposure, I can see in the shadows, that's how it's looking. So I'm just adjusting it so that I can find it appealing to my eyes. Okay, so you can see now it's kind of a more appealing. Okay, and also you can just do with the color, but this is something advanced. I guess that saturations and exposure will going to work great, but still you guys can even adjust it. So you can see you will going to get the greenish effect, or let's say reddish effect, and so on. But that's totally up to you if you want to play around with that, but I will not going to suggest you that. Okay, and if you want to undo any settings, so just press Command and Z like we normally do for everything, so that you just go with the previous step. Okay, and so on. So that's how color corrections works in the Final Cut Pro. There's no principle for any color corrections as a beginner to tell, but you can just go here at the first section, and here you can see the color board created. You can untake it and take it to see the difference without the color correction and with color correction, and see how it's working. Okay, so without color correction you can see it's not looking good, but when we applied the color correction, it's now looking further more better. Okay, so that's how it works. You can just click on this option to go to this color board settings and so on. So that's all about the color corrections you guys can do in your Final Cut Pro. Okay, now guys, let's talk about the effects. Okay, so Final Cut Pro has by default lots of effects. So you guys can click on these settings of effects and you can see various effects so wherever you want to apply. So just select that clip, and when you will hover here on the effects, you can see a lot of them. If you want blur type of effect, so this is how the blur effect will going to work, like that. Okay, so that's how it works. By the way, you can click on B button on your keyboard and try to put some cuts. Okay, click on A button. So now you can just try and put the effects to different clips, okay, as well, to try it. And you also have the lots of things like clips contrast. Okay, so you can, let's say, put this one or let's take with some one. So just search for them, you will going to find a lot of them. This red one is also looking great. So you can see that's how amazing it is looking. Okay, and let's put this space CR1, and that's how it's looking great. Okay, and not only that, you have a lot many things. You can even put the multiple effects on one particular clip. Okay, like we have the droplet as well, so let's put the droplet. Okay, you can see, and just try to put the flipping effect, and let's say earthquake as well. Let's put the earthquake one here like this, right? So that's how amazing it looks. Put, let's say, mirror one. Okay, so mirror also looks great, so let's put this in the second effect. Wow, right? So that's how you guys can just see the various effects. Just go to Final Cut Pro's, search for some effects, try to add those effects and see how it's basically working for your project. Okay, so this is all about the effects. Just search for them, apply them, then only you will going to learn what effects can put what type of effect in your particular editing. Okay, and it will not be possible for me to teach all of them, right? So that's but obvious. Just go ahead and try with different effects. Now guys, we will basically going to talk about transitions. Okay, so here is the very last option we have of transitions. So Apple provides us with lots of transitions. So transitions are some effects which you put within or between two clips. Okay, so for example, we have let's say this blur. This is kind of very famous. You can just click on all, and this cross dissolve is very famous, so you can just put that between any clips like this. Okay, and see. Okay, so it just dissolve it and then open to the new clip. Same, you can just go ahead and let's say go with, let's say, divide one, put that over here. So you guys can see that's how you can put some transitions between the clips, and you can make your clip, you know, very much interesting. Okay, even you can put the light one. Let's put the light one over here. Okay, click on create transitions, no problem. That's how it works. Also, you can just put, let's say, in movements we have this earthquake one which I always use. You can also put these transitions over here, so you can see it will just going to give you that transitions effect and so on. So again, same, just try all of them and see which can give you the best result as per your requirement, and you can choose all of them. So by the way, before you import it, you can also preview it on the clip. So for example, I want to put, let's say, on this particular clip, so there just see how the different transitions will going to work for you, and whatever you feel is comfortable, just drag it to your clip and you are good to go. Okay, so make sure just check all of them and try to test them out and see which is good for you. Okay, so that is what I just want to teach you about the transitions. So guys, whatever we have learned so far, so using that same concepts, how we can make any clip attractive, so you can just play around with that, like right now I'm doing in front of you. Okay, so for example, I can just go ahead and let's say go with this one, and I can just put here. Okay, so I can just put here Texas trip. Awesome, right? I can just drag it here till this part, and I can make you know, all this part to go little bit speed up. 4%. Awesome. Okay, so here we have this faulty one, so let's try to adjust that. Okay, or we can just put some, you know, file, or we can even just remove this one. We do not want that. Awesome. Now what we can do is that we can just remove this audio. We can just shrink it. We can remove this path, delete button, shrink it, and you are good to go. So now if you guys will basically see, okay, and run the clip. By the way, whatever transactions and everything which you have put on your clip, so at the right side you will going to see all the settings related to that. If you want to change it, you can make some twist, you will going to get idea. But let's play it. You can just click here. So you guys can see with just very basic things we have make it so much attractive, right? So that is what I just wanted to teach you over here, that you can make your clips very much interesting, okay, just by using some basic tweaks and so on, and you by using some effects, transactions and so on. By the way, I just want to tell you one more thing. You can just go and search here Cuckoo courses. Just search for Cuckoo courses, okay, and then you will see our website, cuckoocourses.com website, okay. So you can just click on this website, just go to courses, and from the courses you guys will going to see we do have the Final Cut Pro advanced course as well. You can see 4 hours course is totally from basic to advanced. So you will going to learn lots of advanced stuff which is very much great for you to understand in Final Cut Pro, okay. So this is the course. You can just go to the curriculum and you can see the complete details of what we will going to learn. There are so many things like chroma key and many more, many advanced features like tracking and so on, right? So if you are interested, you can come to our this website and you can just, hey guys, welcome, click on the preview button to see the promo video, by the way. But if you want to access it, you can just click on this get membership, okay. So when you will click on get membership, you can just see we have two plans. We also have a lifetime plan. If you want lifetime plan, we have 50% off on the lifetime plan. But how to get the lifetime plan? So for that you have to watch this video, okay. But you can also grab the $20 yearly plan, but we will suggest you to pick up lifetime plan if you are interested. By the way, you can just make sure you watch before purchasing, but it's same like we purchase in the e-commerce website, but still we recommend to watch this video to understand how to purchase the membership. Not only that, you can access all other courses we have on our website, okay, not only limited to Final Cut Pro. You can just see we have lot many courses like parallel desktop for Mac. You can run Windows on your Mac. You can just scroll down and you can see and select the Apple. So we also have lots of other Apple courses like iCloud, video editing, iMovie, Keynote, numbers, pages and so on, okay. So we have lot many courses like AI courses, digital marketing, e-commerce courses and so on. So we suggest you guys to just check our website. You will learn lots of amazing things like AI courses and so on, okay. You can go to second page, see other courses we have: Google Ads course, ATAR course and so on, okay. Says AI tool, chat GPT plugins and so on. So we have many courses on our website. So make sure if you guys are interested, you can just grab the membership and you can access to all our amazing courses from our website. So let's just go ahead and let's summarize this course, okay, and let's see how we can export the particular clip. Let's export this particular file, okay. So it's very simple. You can just go at the very right side, you will see this option. So make sure you choose the export file only, that's the by default, okay. So you can see some settings, but I will suggest you to not to change any settings, okay. Let's keep it to by default only, and after you will do this, click on the next button, put the name whatever you want. For example, I put Austin, save it, the location and so on, and then you will going to notice that it's been exported. So that's how you can export in Final Cut Pro. Okay.